All right, I'm gonna pull in Geneva now. She's ready. Oh, she's smiling at me. I can see her. There she is. She's like, hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi,
I'm
everybody.
excited to meet you in person because we've been talking on like through the group for a while now, I feel
Yeah,
like.
definitely for a long time now.
Yeah, you've been
In fact,
active for
I
a long
think you might
time.
have been one of the first people I reached out to when I was debuting last year about like, I don't know how to promote, but I really want to. And you're like, okay, I got you.
Oh,
This is how you do it.
let's do it. Yeah, no, it's just and you're in both groups because you write both genres. You're
Hmm.
right, the dark and the OG. And you've also done, goodness gracious, you've done the Level 100 for both groups, haven't you?
I sure
Yes,
have.
I think so. And you are, oh my gosh, I have it in front of me. I'm going to go grab it. I'm going to go grab it. You are the Thank You, Ma'am author. Nobody knows this yet because I haven't announced that we just determined this for the dark group, the newsletter this month. And so the person that ends up winning is going to get a signed, I'm assuming it's signed, paperback of Dark Oz.
Oh,
Yes?
yeah, it would definitely be
Oh, yeah.
signed.
Okay, yeah. Believe it or not, an author sent me a book once and it wasn't signed. It was so funny. I was like, "Oh, I sent you a book." Does it say? I was like, "Oh, that's so
I
cool."
did that once, but it was just an accident.
An
It was
accident.
definitely not on
I was like,
purpose.
"Oh, this is nice." It's not okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
I was like,
funny.
you keep that one, raffle it off. I'll send you an extra plate to go inside it with the other one I send you.
Exactly. There you go. So, and then you're given swag, and you're doing like a
Yep.
an Oz
So
survival
it's like,
kit.
yeah,
What is it? Yeah,
so
show us. Show us what you're
okay, so this
doing.
is this is Dark Oz. So this is what I'm going to be putting one of these in. And then along with the survival kit comes a couple things. In the second book, which is The Witch is Dead, there's a line in here that I sort of did a lot of merch for. So where are we on swearing on here right now?
I don't know. I have no idea
Okay,
what the
here,
book of Baby
I'll
says about it.
there we go, there we go, there we go. So it says,
Oh, that's better. Yeah. So don't be th I can't see what because it's
it's thunder,
backwards.
it's thunder, it's thunder. Uh,
The, the thun. Okay, I can't say it.
it
Oh
rhymes
my
with
goodness! Like
thunderstruck.
everyone's like, got it, got it. I get it. I got it. I got
So
it.
so I've got that. I've got some stickers for it, and I've got, I don't know. I'm kind of like a sticker monger, so I've got a lot of those here that I'm going to be putting in. I have little tissue packs and stress balls that look like Nick's heart. Nick is my Tin Man, so
Yes.
the
Yep.
heart.
Yep. Oh, she wrote it.
And
Tanasha wrote it in the chat. I don't know if I forgot to tell you guys, the authors, that there's a chat. You can see all the comments coming in on the thing. She wrote what your
yeah.
sticker said. Yeah.
Um,
Sorry. Go
Well,
ahead.
I've got the After Dark open over here on my computer so that I can see the comments that are in there. So I apologize if you're commenting on one of the other platforms and I'm not responding to you. I apologize for that. I've only got that one open right now.
It's okay.
But the
So,
inside of my books are all really pretty. I don't know when you were reading. You were probably reading on Kindle Unlimited, but
yeah,
so
maybe.
like when you'll see it when you get the inside of all of my chapters have these really unique kind of,
It's
each
beautiful.
character gets their own chapter art when it
Oh,
switches POVs.
wow.
So in the Dark Oz series, there's 4 main POVs because it's why choose. So all 4 of the main characters get their own point of view.
That's
And so there's
cool.
specific art for that. And in the ebook, there's art that sort of matches that, but it's green and it's a little bit prettier, honestly, um, because it is in color. Here, sorry, I just want to show you Nick's.
Oh, yeah, no, please do. We want to
There you go.
see.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
there's
benefit
Nick's.
of doing it live. We can
So
see this stuff.
all the this book from cover to cover, from outside cover to the inside
Gorgeous.
art, I did all of it.
That's amazing. It's gorgeous.
um and then the inside of the Sun Serpent books, I did the art that's in there too. It's not all completely original. Some of it is stock manipulation, but it's all got my hand on it somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And it's a beautiful, beautiful cover. I mean, definitely
Thank
gets your
you.
attention. Yeah, for sure. So let's hear all about it then. Dark Oz.
Okay,
I
well,
imagine it's dark. Actually, I started it, so I know it is.
Yeah, well, the first chapter, well, I'm one of those books that has like a 2-page trigger warning page that ends with your mental health matters. I
Mm.
also have a page in here full of hotline numbers. Specifically, the first one that's on here talks about the human trafficking hotline, because the main character and several other characters that are in this book have all been trafficked. And while I recognize the fact that my book is a work of fiction, trafficking is not. And
Yeah,
so I
exactly.
wanted to
Yeah.
be able to, I don't know, make things available so that if people were triggered while they were reading, they could have the resources on hand right there if they just needed somebody to talk to. So I put those numbers in the
Oh,
book. And that's not like I didn't come up with that idea on my own. I did see Scarlett St. Clair did it in Mountains Made of Glass. And I was like, I just think that that's such a wonderful thing to do in a dark book. And so
yeah.
from now on, I'll be doing it in all my books from now on. But
That's so cool. That's so cool. Very
so
thoughtful. Yeah.
the story starts with Thea. She's my Dorothy character, and it's
Right.
right after she's been sold to Easton Witcher. So the whole Dark Oz universe, it's a contemporary dark romance. So I've taken all the magic and all that side of Oz out of my
Yeah.
storyline, and instead I've kept the original big plot arcs and some of the notes from each of the characters. And then one of my favorite things is to just throw little Easter eggs into the book, so that like if you're a fan of the movie or the original L. Frank Baum books, you should hopefully pick up on some of the things that I put in there. But then at the same time, if
Oh,
you weren't a fan of the originals or you never read or watched or whatever, like it has its own core story and elements to it that you don't need to have that to be able to appreciate it.
right.
Um,
Right. Right. Makes
so the
sense.
story starts with after she's been sold to Easton Witcher, and then she needs to rely on the 3 smugglers who run yellow brick taxi cabs to help get her after she kills Easton Witcher, which I feel like is not that much of a spoiler since everybody knows when Dorothy arrives in Oz, she kills the
Yeah.
Witch of the
It's,
East.
yeah.
Like so obviously that's at the beginning. So after she kills Easton Witcher, she needs to find her way to get to the wizard so that the wizard can give her a new identity and kind of get her out of Oz. And so she kind of falls into the hands of Yellow Brick Taxi Cabs. It's a group of smugglers who use their taxi cab cover to run things through the 4 quadrants of Oz. So
Okay.
she basically ends up being their next job, where they have to get her to the wizard. And then like that's the original storyline too. She's got to get to the
Yeah.
wizard to hopefully get
The
home.
wizard. Right.
And so that's like the whole plot of the first book is getting to the wizard.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you've had a lot of love for it so far, right? Like just yesterday,
Yeah.
I was telling someone you were on here and they're like, "Oh, I love Dark Oz." I was like, "Oh, that's cool." It's cool to hear that.
Yeah, it's had a really good reception since it's come out. The second book published in February, and then the third book, which is the final of the Oz books, is going to be publishing at the end of May. And I like the people as after the last book. The last book I think was the one that really, really hooked everybody pretty hard. Thanks, Tabitha. I really appreciate you reading. Um, so the last book is very roller coastery, and I do a lot of making you run the full range of emotions. Sometimes even within like a single chapter, I'll get you laughing and then screaming. And I'm actually rebranding myself. I'm putting "Damn it, Geneva" on everything now.
I love that's great. I
Because
love
I
it.
polled my readers and I said, so when you were done reading The Witch is Dead, what was the thing you said the most? We had the this one, and then we had the no 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 no,
That's
and
so cute.
the what the F. We had all of those in there, but the Damage Geneva was the one that won the most. And because becoming an author was me entering my villain era, I take a lot of pride in that.
Villain era. Villain era. I'm so impressed by all the swag the authors come up with. I think it's just so cool. Like I just, I'm starting to write my own book and I haven't even thought about I'll just be happy to publish. I've been, you're on here with I've got this and I've got this and another book box with this and then I
Well,
have
it
this and I'm
helps.
like, oh
It
my
helps
gosh.
with the fact that I'm currently
That's
sitting in
awesome.
my stationery that I made for filling all of my boxes and orders and things. So I can literally just be like, here, I have all of my bookmarks, and here's my stickers and my pins. They're like literally all within arm's reach right now.
That's so cool. That's so cool. So how did you start writing?
So for one, I've been a pretty avid reader forever, and then in over quarantine, my best friend and I, we decided we were going to bubble together. And she
Right.
has a son who's the same age as my son, and they're only children. And, like I don't have other family that's nearby. And we just didn't want during quarantine, our little, at the time, they were only 3, to not have any other kid interaction. So we are like, well, we'll just bubble together. And every
Right.
day I went over to her house and then like sometimes our husbands like would get together, and then they decided that we were going to play D&D, and that
Okay.
this was like just a thing. And they're like, well, we're going to do D&D. And I was like, okay, that's great. That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm a very busy person. I'm not going to play. And he's like, no, 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 you don't understand. We need you to play because you can't play D&D with just 2 people.
Right.
And so he was like, it's not a big deal. Just make a character. And then I made the character. I was like, okay. So I made this draconic sorceress, and which is like a sorceress who gets her magic from being dragonborn or being descended from
Okay.
dragons. And he's like, okay, well, you need to make a backstory. And then I just started making this backstory that just kept going and going and going. And then I just started saying, I was like, she's just so cool. All I want to do is read her story. And like, she seems like a cool character that would be in one of these books. And I used to read a ton of fantasy, a lot of YA mostly, actually. I have a friend who bridged my way into the world of romance, and then it was like I never went back. And she finds it hilarious that now I'm writing a dark Y choose. Like she's like, it's amazing how far off that deep end you ended.
I know, it's
But
crazy.
so my D&D character ended up being my main character of this book.
Yeah.
And
Well, to
so this
say,
is
tell us
Illyria
about
and
your.
the main character. They are Yep. So they're descended
Let's say, I was.
from dragons, and so this was what.
We're just like talking over each other. I was gonna say, tell us about the book that belongs in the genre of the other group, the fantasy group, and you
Okay.
did it for me. So I was like, yay, that's
Well, you
awesome. Sorry.
you lagged for a second there, and I think I was
Oh,
talking over it.
okay. Oh, right. Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay. So
Um.
carry on.
So anyway, so Sun Serpent is about this fire dancing, knife wielding acrobat. She uses the circus troupe that she's in to disguise the fact that she has fire magic, which is an incredibly rare attunement. And as
Right.
far as she knows, she's the only person who has this attunement in all of Venterra.
Okay.
And so it's about her, and then it's about the lying prince who kind of comes into her life, who offers her vengeance. um, and he needs her to come back to his country because with her fire magic, hopefully they're going to be able to vanquish the evil Lord Malvat, who is controlling the people of his kingdom with this kind of shadow mind control curse. And so
Right.
that's these.
Okay.
And these books, I have 2 books in this series out right now. The 3rd book in this series is coming out this fall. And this series is going to be long going. This is a long-term committed relationship.
That's good. That's
And
awesome.
and truly the love of my life. I'm actually kind of dying to get back into writing in the fantasy world, because I've been doing all the Dark Oz stuff. So I've been really heavy
Yes.
into the contemporary and mafia and all of that. And I'm like, I miss the magic. Which when I started Dark Hours, I was like, yes, guns.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But
Aw, yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
thanks.
Well, I just was so excited, like I said, to finally get you on here and to meet you and see you because you've been so present in the groups and doing the Love 100. That's been awesome. And like, I'm so excited you're doing this. Thank you, ma'am. I mean, whoever wins that is going to make out really well because, like,
Oh yeah, I
that sounds
kind of
like
put all
so
kinds of.
awesome
I'll
that.
put more goodies probably than we're even featured in there. Giving's my love language, so don't be surprised if you open it up and you're
Oh.
like, what is all of this?
Well, so for you guys watching, in order to get the thank you, ma'am, we look at just who's active in the group, who kind of stands out in the group. So this is the Fangirl Romance Rex After Dark Contemporary Romance Group, and we go through all that, and then we decide, yay, they're the winner, and we put it in the newsletter. So if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, check it out because she'll be on the front page of the newsletter with her book and all the stuff that she's giving out. We're gonna put the little photos around it and stuff.
And it's a great
that'll be
newsletter.
cool.
You have so much information in those newsletters,
Oh,
like just
so much
book
information.
reviews and all kinds of
Oh
stuff.
my
Like
God.
they're a great newsletter. I look forward to it every time when they come out.
Oh, thanks. A huge team of people puts it together. And this month, Tabitha Salinas, she actually is a huge fan of yours. She
She's
loves
in
our
here.
cause.
She's in here chatting. She's
Oh,
mentioning.
she
I
is.
see
Yeah.
her.
Okay. So she raised her hand and volunteered because I'm like, I need help. So she's getting all the initial information together for it right now, and then it goes to the next person. So it's like this whole like it's a lot to put a newsletter together, man. It's great. It's beautiful. I love it. It's a process. So yeah, you'll be on the front. So that's really exciting. So yay. All right. Okay. So if you guys are here watching Geneva, stick around because we're going to bring her back on the author panel. And thanks again for coming on. It's been just awesome, like really awesome. I love your
Thanks,
hair. I love the
Amy. I
purple.
see your comment. Thanks. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right, see you in a little bit. Okay.